All right. So as you can see, I've got all of our panelists on here, and I'm going to take a minute to introduce them. But before I do, I want to just share something really quick. Let me see here. If anybody happens to see this young lady today, you please be sure and wish her a happy birthday. Today is Sandy Blaylock's birthday, and I want everybody to wish her a happy birthday. We are super honored to have her as our executive director, and we're just hoping she has a fantastic day. So, Sandy, I know you're watching. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day. Now, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, this is ARA's first live stream event of 2021, and I've invited some of the ARA members to share their experience. And looks like I lost Nick. Let me see here. Hold on. Nick, you can't get away that easily, buddy. We're going to keep you. But
all right,
we want to talk.
Let me go.
I won't let you go. So today we're going to be talking about the peer-to-peer program, the peer-to-peer mentoring program, which we are currently enrolling. So if you're watching this and you're interested, please reach out to us. We are currently in the enrollment period for the new mentors and the new mentees for 2021. And for those of you who may not know, mentoring is a free ARA member benefit to any auto recycling facility, owner, or manager who's just looking to get a fresh perspective on their business strategy, their daily operations. We are in a very unique industry in that recyclers have always been willing to share what they know and their knowledge and experience with other ones. And that's what's so great about networking with fellow recyclers. So if you're looking for an outside perspective on your business, but from somebody with deep understanding of our industry, this is a great program. It's a fantastic benefit that ARA offers. Again, it's free if you're a member. And if you want to give back to the industry, this is a great way to get involved and be a mentor. If you want to improve your business or just look at it from a different perspective, this is a great way to get to be a part of it by being a mentee. So I am joined here today by the co-creators of the program. So Marty Hollingshead of North Lake Auto Recyclers in Hammond, Indiana, and R.D. Hopper of Sonny's Auto Salvage in Jacksonville, Arkansas. So these are our two mentees. Thank you guys for being willing once again to donate your time to the industry. We also have with us two mentees. So we have Matt Ghazal of Eagle Auto Parts. He is from Three Rivers, Michigan. And we have Nick Dario of Dario Auto Truck in Pueblo, Colorado. So welcome to you guys. So let's start with Marty and RD.
Thanks, man.
Each of you guys have mentored several auto recyclers since the program started. Tell us what are the top 3 pieces of advice, if you could, that you've given to your mentees. Are there 3 themes that come to mind? Let's start with RD.
You bet. What comes to mind is really setting goals and setting goals for the next year. We're starting a new year right now, so I'd like to for the people watching to think about what do you hope to accomplish this year. You have sales goals, purchasing goals, you have production goals, and you have quality goals. So some people might want to minimize their returns this year. They had a big year last year, but they want to lower their return rate. Some people may have been off last year and hopefully to improve their sales this year. And so setting goals and being able to measure performance and to know exactly what you hope to accomplish this year would help us assign you a mentor that could be a specialist in the area of your business that you wanted to improve on.
Yeah, that's good. Marty, how about you? What would you say to if you had to like 3 top pieces of advice that you see consistently mentees benefit from?
Well, first thing is there is no easy button, okay? And people have to realize that nothing in life that you don't have to work for is worthwhile. So working hard, uh, numbers are important, but I want to focus on what drives their numbers. And I also, want them to set realistic expectations. I think you have some people that, their expectations are unrealistic. You set realistic expectations and the goals are achievable. As far as the goals for next year, funny thing is, I think, Artie, didn't you ask me in October what my goal was for the year? And I thought I told you to get out of it alive, right?
Congratulations.
That's exactly right.
But that's it. Just, you need to know your numbers, you need to know the business, and you need to be willing to put in the work. If you're willing to put in the work and you're committed, the results will come.
Excellent. Excellent. So let me go to the mentees for a minute. Now I'm going to start with you, Matt. You've been working in a mentee. Sorry, you've been a mentee in the program for 2 years, right?
Yes, I have, yes.
And why don't you share with us why you decided to enroll in the mentoring program and what value it has brought to your business?
So I met Marty at an ARM session here, and he approached me. He must have realized that I'm new to the business, and I am. And Marty, from that time on, kind of took me under his wing and been showing me the ropes. And truly, his help has been fundamental for the progress that we've made in the 2.5 years that we've been in business. Marty was and still is very generous with his time. He's always been available to take my call and to place in his yard for me and my staff to go tour and see and learn from. Marty took time out of his way to come help us at our yard on more than one occasion, on many occasions. We just see his pull in and he'll get out, start working. And Marty's been tremendous help in this program, and ARA and the mentoring program has been a great help for Eagle Auto Parts.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Nick, I want to hear from you, your experience in the mentoring program and how it's impacted your business. We might be having some technical difficulties with Nick's audio. Nick, can you hear us?
I can hear you. It's cutting in and out just a little bit, Vince.
All right. I was asking if you could share with us how the mentoring program has impacted your business.
Well, I met Marty probably 4 or 5 years ago at a convention, and struck out a relationship with him. I visited his store, and I was interested in certification. We've been in business for 50 plus years, and my son has been with us now for about 6 years full time as a third generation. And I was just trying to get to the top of the ladder and trying to improve our company as well as we possibly could. And I think a lot of times you get in a rut. You're so busy every day. Things are going well. Sales are good. I think you lose touch with some of the little things that can really step up your sales, production, quality control, your procedures. And so I visited Marty's store with the intent of going out there for certification. An hour or two, and
Oh, I think we lost Nick. All right, he'll jump back in. We'll continue on. So one of the benefits that I've seen of this program is that the mentees have an opportunity to get an insider's perspective from fellow recyclers, someone that may have already been through the same struggles. You know, it's always helpful if you can talk to somebody who's already been down that road and willing to share different aspects of the business. We did get a few questions, so I'm gonna kind of fire these questions at Marty and RD. I'll start with you, RD. These are questions we got from members in anticipation of this. So the first one is, how do I set some guidelines for my sales staff when it comes to brokering?
Some guidelines. I'd look at minimum profit, and you know, one thing you have to remember about brokering, there's about 8 phone calls for every part brokered. So if you broker a part, you're going to have 8 phone calls for every brokered part. You're going to have a delivery of brokered parts. You're going to have shipping, receiving of brokered parts. So if I was going to set guidelines, I'd say set a minimum profit for brokered part, because it raises your cost of doing business by making more deliveries and more shipping and receiving. And so if I was going to set guidelines, I'd set a minimum profit to cover the overhead of the labor. And when it comes to brokering parts, I'm not against brokering parts, but I would make that a primary part of covering my overhead. Brokering can be a bonus, but I don't think right now it's a healthy way to support a business model on trying to pay your primary bills by brokering or cover your overhead with brokering. So that's my opinion. I want to cover my overhead through my dismantling facility and the cars that I buy. And if I broker something, I want to do it to where I'm making enough money on it that I cover my overhead.
Gotcha. Marty, do you want to add to that? Like, if somebody were to ask you how to set guidelines for their sales staff when it comes to brokering, what would you say?
Well, again, I agree with RD, and RD knows very well. You know, I'm a big fan of being self-sufficient. Okay, to be able to take care of my customers, be able to control and manage the deal. The issues I found with brokering is I can't control the quality, I can't control the delivery, and I can't control the price. This is why we try to keep a deep inventory here. And the idea is to be able to say yes to your customer. And with anything else you're doing in your business, the core of what we do, listen, the core of what we all do, we sell auto parts. Okay, simply put, we tear down late model cars and we sell the parts off them. Everything else, brokering, selling reman, selling surplus, selling aftermarket, doing service work. All of these are supplements of what we do. Okay. And the big thing is to make sure that you're doing the best job you can with your core, which is selling parts. If you're going to veer off on a tangent to go on a supplemental end like brokering or reman or anything else, don't do it. If you're not doing your core properly, you need to focus on your core. Okay. And the supplements, you wind up starting to divert too many resources towards it, or like RD said, you find yourself writing a lot of POs, selling a lot of parts, but very little profit at the end of the day. So,
okay.
And Vince, real quick, I just say that my brokering is, I want 35% profit on mine, and I don't want to broker anything if I don't make $100 on it. So just an example, I want a 35% profit on the amount that I sell, and I want a minimum of $100 profit, unless it's a regular customer that I run deliveries to all the time and it's a customer service. But I don't look at that. I look at that as more of a customer service, and I try to keep that to a minimum.
Gotcha. Now, I have a question from Matt Hamlin, and he asks, what past mistakes have you made that you would give a fellow recycler a heads up on to avoid?
All right, you want me to go first on that? My first one with that would have someone else inventory in my parts that didn't do a very good job to where my descriptions in the computer weren't accurate and the interchange numbers weren't accurate on my parts on the shelves. So I guess not managing inventory well enough. I do my own inventory now, and as Marty would agree, the two most important thing I think an owner can do is buy for the right market, buy the right cars, and get them inventoried properly. So I'd say the worst thing I've done is not inventoried my cars properly.
Gotcha. Marty, do you have anything to add to that? What past mistakes have you made that you would give a heads up to avoid?
I say when I was new to the business, okay, realize the importance of some of the chords. And one of the reasons why I wanted to get into this mentoring program with RD and help was, you know, I've had the benefit. I've had some very smart people mentor me when I was younger. Okay, and I wouldn't be where I'm at now had it not been for the guidance and the advice that I was given. Realizing the value of your people, realizing you can't do everything yourself, and for your business to be successful, you got to have a good crew. And with our place here, North Lake is what it is because of my crew, my people. Okay, they're the ones that get the credit for it, not me. But it's realizing, acknowledging the importance of the people that come to work every day and what they do, and being able to give them the tools, training, resources they need to do the job and be successful. I think that's very important, and that's advice I give to everybody.
That's great. The RD, this is for you. Teresa made that comment on Facebook, and I wanted to share it with you. Matt, I got a question for you. What would you say to other recyclers that may be intimidated to enroll in the program?
Not to be. Truly, the program, it's a great program with all. Sometimes have tendency to reinvent the wheel, and with a good mentor, like I've been fortunate to have. I mean, he just kind of challenged me to be better and to focus better. But every time Marty and I talk, he reminds me to take care of the employees we have, take care of staff, and what I learned from him and others. Make business a good place to trade. Marty is big on taking care of them, and the business usually takes care of itself.
That's good. All right, so back to RD and Marty. Do you have any specific areas of business that you want to work on, or goals that will improve your company in 2021? What are your big hot topics for 2021?
Okay, for 2021 for myself, improve production. I'm buying more cars and my sales are up, and I've got to improve production. So I hope to dismantle more cars. I've hired another dismantler. So I hope to dismantle more cars. Right now, I'm handwriting locations on tags and entering them in the computer, and we're making a lot of error. So I'm working on barcoding right now to improve my inventory quality in the warehouse. So this year, two of my main goals, of course, customer service has always got to be there and have a quality product. But my main thing besides that is going to be increase production in my teardown and improve the quality of my inventory in my warehouse by removing human error, from as much human error as I can from the scenario by barcoding. So that's my two main things I'm working on right now.
Marty, what are the big rocks you're going to move in 2021?
Well, obviously, this year I took on a lot of projects and I moved a lot of rocks this past year. COVID enabled us to I used the time to get our house in order, be able to do a better job. Ongoing process is to continue to improve my place, be able to increase my capacity, buy a better product, with the whole object of being able to take better care of the customers and take care of my employees. So I guess that's my goal.
That's good. And I want to just move this question around the table here and ask Matt and Nick, what are the big rocks? What are the big goals that you're gonna shoot for in 2021? Matt, I'd love to hear from you first, and then we'll go to Nick.
So my commitment this year is to focus on the parts business. I think the more we focus on the basics of the business, the better this business is going to be for us. I still have a lot to learn. I'm still a rookie and a green pea, as we say here, but I'm excited to just focus my energy and attention on the basics.
Good. Nick, I'd love to hear from you. What are the big goals you have for Dario Auto Truck this year?
Sorry, I've got internet. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We're really focusing on inventory. Can you hear me, Vince?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. Let's try it again.
I'm having trouble with my internet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we got a good connection with Nick, unfortunately. I know he's got a lot to add. We're gonna keep moving. Guys, what are the top reports that you run each quarter? That was a question we got submitted prior to the this event. Marty, let's go to you.
Okay, go.
As far as the top reports that I'm going to look at each quarter, I'm going to look at obviously your revenue report. Your sales is important. Your performance, your in stock and out of stock activity, as well as your close rate. And the big thing we look at returns. It isn't so much from the loss of revenue standpoint, but how can we do a better job to prevent this from happening? Credits and returns is something that we look at. We try to minimize and control. When there's a return, was it a mistake that we made, and what can we do to ensure this doesn't happen again? Salesmen being more diligent on getting the proper information from the customer, spending the time to validate the deal, set realistic expectations with the customers is a big thing. Okay. And when when there's credits issued, it's because the part didn't meet the customer's expectations. So we try to look at that, and all of that is what's going to drive your numbers.
Gotcha. RD, what are the top reports that you run each quarter?
All right, we're going to look at the dollar of sales purchase. I do a projected sales on every car I buy. So I'm going to look at the dollar of sales purchase. I'm going to make sure I'm buying the cars that I need to buy in order to meet my sales goals. I'm going to look at dollar of sales processed through tear down. I keep up with how many cars I've tore down and what the projected sales of those cars. So I have a dollar value of the parts that have gone through tear down to make sure I'm processing enough cars. Definitely, we're going to look at sales and returns, as Marty said also, but we're going to make sure production there. I'm going to look at my cost of goods and see if my expenses are going up, and see if I'm buying the cars for the cost of goods that I need to buy the cars for. Make sure the profit's in the cars to cover my overhead.
So it sounds like and I think I've heard you guys say this over and over again. It's know the numbers, right? And just continuing to keep a close eye on not just the numbers, but what's driving the numbers. Marty, you talked about, what returns, what's that number look like? What's driving that number? And, RD, you talked about it similarly. Matt, do you, what in this area was this an area that you were looking to gain insight on when you became a part of the mentor program? And if it was, how has this specifically helped your business?
So Marty is a drill sergeant, and When we don't, he reminds us. But for us, because we're new to the business, it's really looking at year over year and
Mm-hmm.
how much progress we're making. He keeps reminding me that what he's accomplished in 30, 40 years, I'm not going to be able to accomplish in 2, 3 years. And I'm aware of that. And him being the person he is and holding my feet to the fire, he just keeps reminding me to just compare myself to myself and to the progress that we're doing month over month and quarter over quarter. And I'm appreciative for that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you find, did you come into the program looking to gain more operationally or administratively, or was it just a combination of both, a kind of a holistic look at the business?
The truth is, I really did not know what I was to expect coming in.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you candidly that it exceeded my most ambitious expectation. This has been a really exciting experiment for me.
Oh, that's great.
It paid in spades.
That's great.
Been great.
RD, you mentioned earlier when we were talking about specific areas of the business, you mentioned taking a look at the systems and making sure that everything's, you know, doing what it's supposed to be, being utilized. So do you guys see any new or interesting tools, apps, software that that you're either looking to take a deeper dive into, or maybe beginning a whole new look at, something you haven't looked at that you're thinking about looking at?
I don't know so much whole new. We're looking at like I said, we're going barcoding right now, so that's new software, and we're putting barcodes on all our racks and all our tags, and we're integrating the barcoding. One thing we're looking at is when we're doing the barcoding is having a phone there, so when the cars we can take pictures of. So as we barcode the parts, we're going to have a clean area so we can take a picture of every part when we barcode it and locate it at the same time. And so besides that, on software, I use Inventory Buddy and Bid Buddy both. And so we use bidding tools and inventory tools. So we're trying to improve how we utilize those. I guess one of the best improvements that we've made in the last couple of years that have been profitable is using our inventorying tool to identify the cores and what a core is worth. So whatever inventory system you have, you need to use that system to get the correct core, build on the invoice, and to get it marked properly when you can sell it for optimum price when you get it back. So optimizing cores has been cash in the bank for us in the last 2 years.
That's great. Marty, what about you? Are there any interesting tools, apps, or software that you're currently using or that you are looking at using in the future?
Well, for us, the biggest thing that's had the biggest positive impact, us being a PowerLink yard, is by far PowerDB. I can't say enough good things about it, how it's helped our business, our workflow, as far as maintaining our inventory, as well as auditing racks, monitoring our sales with our dashboard. Inventory Buddy is a great tool also, okay? And so is Bid Buddy. But all of these pieces of technology, okay, what needs to be realized is they are a tool, okay? They are not going to do your thinking for you, and you should not take them literally. They will help you and make good decisions, but if you take them literally, it can be a slippery slope. There's no tool as a substitute for what is between the ears.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. So let me ask you two, Marty, RD. RD, I'm going to go to you first. How do you know if you're ready to mentor somebody else? So if just to speak to the recyclers on here watching this now, those who will watching this in the future on YouTube and Facebook, what would you say to them if they're thinking about it but they're just not sure they're ready? How do you know that you're ready to mentor somebody else?
The main thing is you just feel like you've learned something that you could share with someone else to help others. So if you think that you've learned something from the business that you can share with others to help them, then I think you're ready to be a mentor.
Okay, Marty, do you have anything to add? What would you say to somebody considering being a mentor, but they're a little intimidated, not sure they're ready?
Being a mentor or being mentored?
Being a mentor, doing what you and RD do.
Well, I think this applies to both ends of the table. Okay, you need to take it seriously. Okay, we're talking about businesses. More importantly, we're talking about people and families. Everything I do at North Lake, I think of 27 times, and that's how many people I have here. You need to take it seriously, and the people that you're investing the time to teach, that want the help, also need to do the same, and they have to be willing to hold up their end. We all have different fields of expertise, like I already said. Some of us are better in some areas than others, but again, it's the one that is going to be a mentor has to realize the commitment. Okay, the time it's going to take. There's some people that are just maybe need a little help or a little advice. There's others where it could be more extensive. Okay, and it's a great sense of fulfillment if you could help somebody or if you can get them put in a better place. Okay, you know, we've all, like I said, I had people help me, and it's just a way of giving back. But be ready to invest the work and the time and do it right. Other thing I want to say as far as the technology and that, okay, you can overcomplicate things. I try to take a simple approach to stuff and simplify things. Okay, for anybody that's thinking about doing it or wanting to be a mentee, my advice would be focus on your fundamentals. Get your fundamentals in order. Your goal should be proper execution of your fundamentals, and that's going to get you a 90% success rate by simply doing that. In my opinion, all the rest of it is noise, and it can muddy the waters and overwhelm and confuse people. And I want to keep things in perspective for people and set realistic expectations.
That's really great. I'm actually copying that down to send out to everybody. Focus on the fundamentals. So, you know.
I know a guy that wrote some articles on that.
That's great. RD, I'm going to jump back to you real quick and ask, how are the mentors and mentees matched?
Okay, that's for me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. We look at what the goals of the yard is. We look at the area that the yard is in, find someone that's in a similar population. We look at the yard management system they have and see if we can find someone with the same yard management system. But we also look at their goals, like I said earlier, and make sure what their goals are, that we have someone that's strong in the area. Like Norman is very good on job descriptions and structure of a business. And we had someone this year that was needing to do that. So Norm's helping someone in that. So it could be someone with a full service yard, but their goal is to start a self-service yard. So maybe if we found someone just like them, it may not be the best mentor. So if the mentees let us know that, hey, we're wanting to open a self-service yard, then we would lean that direction. So it goes to do with a lot of things, but the goals, I would say, is the main thing, and find someone that's familiar with the area that they want to work on.
That's great. Matt, I want to ask you before we finish up. I want to get back to you and kind of circle back to the question. I know you gave us an answer, but for those who weren't tuned in, then what would you say to somebody watching this who they're thinking about being a mentee, or maybe they're not? I mean, what would you say to a recycler about the program, and as far as them considering it?
2 words.
Run away.
It's a great program. You owe your You owe it to yourself and the business to do it. Go do it. There's only upside. It's a great experience for me, myself, and Eagle also.
All right. I think we had some audio issues with that message, but from what I could tell, it was a resounding endorsement uh, to take the step and get involved in the program. Guys, before we wrap up, and I'm going to provide everybody some information on how they can apply for the mentor program, I kind of want to open it up and see if there's anything that you guys want to add that I haven't asked about.
There's one thing real quick that I'd like to say that Norm brought up on our last call is Norm said that he's learned a lot to the people thinking about being mentors. Norm said he's learned a lot from mentoring other yards in the last call, that whenever he's going over the job descriptions from the other salvage yard that is mentoring, it's reminding him to go back and some things he need to work on his salvage yard. And there's some things that they were doing that he's learned from that he's implementing at his yard. The one thing I'd like to say, a lot of times the mentors learn as much as the mentee does. And then sometimes when we're helping them with the fundamental that Marty talks about, then it might remind us we need to go back and take care of a fundamental that we hadn't thought about for a while. So it's a learning experience for both sides.
That's great. That's really good.
I just want to, I know Matt, maybe he's having some audio issues, okay, but I'd like to give Matt a lot of credit. Matt took over a business not knowing this industry, and Matt's put a lot of hard work in. He has a lot to do. And as far as learning from them also, I'm going to give you a quick example, okay? One of the things I've been telling Matt a lot is to job shadow and learn the business and learn what his individual people have to do and what kind of challenges they have in doing their jobs. And we talked about this last night, and it got me to thinking about my place, okay? And this applies to all of us, okay? You have salespeople, you have dismantling, you have drivers, you have inventory, you have guys buying cars, all right? You have these different departments or silos, if you will, okay? Whether you're a 5-man operation or a 500-man operation. One of the things I'm going to do here, and because I hear the talk, a lot of it comes from the salespeople, okay? Well, these guys aren't doing this and that. I'm going to have them start shadowing some of these different areas, okay? I'm going to have them go in the truck with the driver and see how hard it is to get around Chicago, okay? Have the salesman go in the back by the dismantlers to see how hard they have to work. To have some of the dismantlers come up at the counter when we're getting blasted with phone calls and that to see how hard they have to work. Bottom line is everybody will get a better understanding or appreciation of what the other guy does when they experience it firsthand. And I think this is something that would benefit all of us. And this is a big thing I learned from talking with Matt and the advice I gave him yesterday. It got me thinking, you know what? Like Artie just said, a fundamental thing. This is something I thought, you know what? I should be doing this myself.
That's really good. That's really good. And I'm glad you shared that. Guys, anything else before we wrap up? All right. Well, look,
I'd just like to thank all the mentors that have flown all over the United States of America to Alaska and everywhere else to give back to the industry that's blessed them. So I want to encourage the mentees to get involved, but I'd like to thank you to all the mentors that have spent their own money to travel around to try to improve this industry. And Marty says a rising tide, raises all ships. So we appreciate everyone's effort. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Marty, anything else?
Well, I would just encourage anybody that's interested in it. This is a great program that we've developed at ARA. This is something that it's a voluntary thing, and it's another member benefit of belonging to ARA, okay? And it can help your business, and I encourage anybody needing help to come on board, whether it's a mentor or mentee. I think we can grow this program, and you know what? By making this industry, by doing this, we're taking this industry like the rising tide raises all ships analogy, okay? our biggest goal as an industry is two things. Okay, we have a great story to tell. People need to know what we really do because they don't. Okay, and we have to erase this junkyard stigma that we all suffer. Okay, and as we get better as an industry, we're going to get more opportunity to sell parts, and it's going to improve the perception, and it's going to secure our position as being able to be a viable industry in the future.
Yeah, that's very valuable. I'm glad you took time to say that. I think it's an important message for everybody to hear. Anyway, I want to thank you guys. I know that the industry thanks you not just for your hard work and generous in your time and your energy, but also for just taking time today to do this. We're sorry that we were unable to maintain a good connection with Nick. I know he's got a lot of valuable, a lot of wisdom to share, and hopefully we can get him back on soon and we'll have a conversation with him. So if you're watching this, so anyway, guys, I want to let you go. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Vince?
Yeah.
So I just want to recognize Marty publicly. Marty is a giant and an industry leader, and he has my gratitude. I'm very appreciative. Thank you, Marty.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Vince.
Thank you, guys. Thanks to all of you. So thank you guys so much for watching this and taking time. And for those who asked questions and made comments, we really appreciate it. If you're interested in learning more and you're curious about whether you might be a good fit for the program, either as a mentor or a mentee, you can visit our website or you can reach out to us directly. You can email us at staff@a-r-a.org for more information. So there's lots of ways to get in touch with us. You put a comment in here, I'll respond to it. You can send us a message through Facebook and I'll respond to it. If you are interested in more information about this program, reaching out to us is the first step, and that's all you got to do. So I want to thank you guys. Thank you for the encouragement and the comments. I want to thank you guys. This is our first live stream event of 2021. And we've kind of outlined a calendar of events. So you should be hearing from us about once a month. We're going to try to do this and highlight different aspects of the industry. So if you have some ideas, don't be afraid to just shoot them to us and we'll be glad to do it. I miss you guys. I was just looking at my Facebook feed, and about a year ago, pictures popped up from the Rocky Mountain show. And for me, I believe I know that there was another show after that, and maybe in Nebraska, but for me, that was the last fully live in-person show that I attended. The picture of everybody on those steps means a lot to me, and I miss you guys. I miss traveling around. I miss seeing all you guys and going to the shows, and I'm really hoping we can get back to that at some point when it's safe for everybody. So thanks for everything, and you guys have a great day, and we will see you soon.